We're getting to know some art and entertainment professionals, and we have a performance coming up that you won't want to miss. This is Front Row Center. Welcome to Front Row Center. I'm Nakaya Berry.
And I'm Deshola Balogan, and you're watching the best show ever, just in case you didn't know. Right, Nakaya?
Yes, of course. And this episode is full of action. And who would have thought art and action could go hand in hand with each other?
What do you mean?
Paintballing. Have you ever been? I tried it for my first time.
Oh, well, I've been paintballing like 10 years ago. I was like 10, and I went inside wearing a black jacket, and I came out looking like a rainbow. So obviously I wasn't that good at it, but you know.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yes, it is. Hopefully you didn't get hit too bad.
Not too bad.
Let's check it out.
When people get here, they're really scared and they're very nervous. And after the first game, they're super hyped and they just want to keep playing more and more.
The feeling of being on top of the world, like there's no other feeling like playing paintball. It's amazing. It feels like you're invincible.
I get an adrenaline rush from it.
You got your blood pumping and you're like really focused on trying to get the enemy players out as fast as possible while also trying not to get hit.
Paintball requires quick thinking and agility. But remember, it's all mind over matter.
You got to use your senses and common sense and figure out like what angle they're shooting from so that you can like figure out your next move.
You can rent equipment or use your own.
I have this right here for quick reload on the field so I don't have to flip the cap open or anything.
Paintball is not only a competitive sport, but is played as a form of entertainment.
It's a very touchy subject because people are afraid of guns, so that's one hard thing for us to get around. For when people come here to play, they just come to have fun.
If you want to do something fun and physical, then paintball would pretty much be something you'd want to do in Vegas.
I knew that once I played it, I loved it from the start.
I thought I got you in the head.
You did. It's gonna hurt. You know, just expect that.
Just don't get hit. Reporting for Front Row Center, I'm Nakaya Berry.
Right now I'm here with singing duo Jill and Julia. How are you two today?
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Of course, thank you for being here. Yeah. So who is Jill and who is Julia?
I'm Jill. And I'm Julia.
All right. And you two are actually sisters.
Yes, we are.
How did you guys start performing together?
You know, we kind of grew up just taking a lot of piano lessons, and we learned a lot of music theory on piano. And then gradually as we got older, we just sort of, I don't know, we picked up guitar and we started playing with each other, and we're like, hey, I think we sound okay. We
might as well play some shows and try to do this
make some
for
money
real.
on the side.
Sounds good to me. And I have a lot of siblings myself, so I know how it is being around your siblings all the time. So how is it working together like so closely all of the time?
You know, like it's funny. We actually don't really fight that much. Like if we fight, like we get over it in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
like,
that's how it should be.
Yeah,
I know. Like we really don't. Our other sister, it's another story. But
no, but since we work together so closely, we do. We have to get along, so we're each other's best friend.
How each other works and
yeah,
everything.
we know
exactly.
So it makes it easier.
Okay. And I saw that you two just performed at Life is Beautiful, which is an insane deal. How was that experience?
Oh, it was crazy.
Incredible.
I had a great time. I mean, it was super cool to see your name on the lineup with like all those like insane artists that are from all over, you know, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else are you two working on right now?
Ooh, well, we're just kind of stockpiling some songs because we've just been really busy traveling, booking a lot more shows, and we're getting ready to go back to Nashville.
Yeah.
Hopefully bring back some good news there.
But we're always writing and
yeah, we can't talk about too much yet.
Yeah.
But you have things coming.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Surprises.
Surprises.
Yes.
And what are you two performing today?
Today we're going to play a song called Smoke and Mirrors. It's off of our newest album, Cursed, that came out earlier this year with Lamont Records, Nashville. And it's an original. We write all of our music together 100%. And yeah.
Hope you like it.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, take it away.
Awesome.
It makes you do things that you shouldn't do. cautious man and twist his hand to do what he never thought he'd do. When glimmer shines through the creek bed, you ask yourself how much to ascend. Justify it's right, but be careful, you might regret your decision in the end. It's just smoke and mirrors, things ain't how they appear. When your gold turns to tears, you'll see it's smoke and mirrors, yeah. Smoke and mirrors might not be so clear. When the fog disappears, you'll see it's smoke and mirrors. Often the adage is told, they say all that glitters ain't gold. You can buy the nicest life, but when day turns to night, you'll be sleeping in your bed all alone. It's just smoke and mirrors, things ain't how they appear. When your gold turns to tears, you'll see it's smoke and mirrors, yeah. Smoke and mirrors might not be so clear. When the fog disappears, you'll see it's smoke and mirrors, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. It's just smoke and mirrors, things ain't how they appear. When your gold turns to tears, you'll see it's smoke and mirrors, yeah. Smoke and mirrors might not be so clear. When the fog disappears, you'll see it's smoke and mirrors.
That was great. Thank you two for being here.
Oh, yeah, thanks for
you.
having us.
Of course. To hear more music from Jill and Julia, check out our Facebook page. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
No one chooses to get breast cancer. The only choice we have is how we will deal with it.
We were lucky. Before we were ever treated for breast cancer, we planned for life after breast cancer. We made the choice
that breast cancer would not take something away from us.
Unfortunately, not every woman knows her choices. And for the sake of all women across America, that has to change. And you can help make it happen. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons is supporting a bill that will help make sure women who are facing breast cancer surgery are told about all their options. It's called the Breast Cancer Patient Education Act.
Every woman has a right to plan for life after breast cancer.
But too many breast cancer patients are being left in the dark.
Help us bring this important issue to light. Call your member of Congress and ask them to support the Breast Cancer Patient Education Act.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
The torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans.
The American dream need not forever be deferred.
This is the richest and the most powerful country.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism.
Vegas is filled with so many iconic places, and believe me, Fremont Street is at the top of the list. Take a look.
When
most people think of Las Vegas, the first thing they picture is the Strip, but that's not all Vegas has to offer. The Fremont Street experience is a popular destination for tourists and locals. Due to the wildly popular history, Fremont Street has visitors from all over the world.
I'm from London originally, but I live in Scotland now. That's where we come from.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm Nick Kissinger from Wisconsin.
My name is Tammy, and I'm from Seattle, Washington.
I decided to come down to Fremont Street because I heard that it was a more exciting environment and just a little bit less congested than the Strip.
I just really like the diversity. So many different people doing all different types of things, and it's just really cool coming from Michigan to be out here checking it out.
I think it's actually less people, even though it is very crowded down here, but it's still less people.
Due to the historic importance of Fremont Street, some people even mistake it for the Strip.
I thought this was the Strip. Where's that?
The Strip is down that way, all the way down that way.
All right, cool. We're going that way next.
Right now, I'm here with author and artist Santiago Vasquez. Welcome to Front Row Center.
Hi.
So you just recently wrote a book, and it's going to be at the Las Vegas Book Festival coming up. How was that whole experience writing a book?
Well, you know, it took like 3 years, and I'm just now, you know, just finishing it. And it just takes so long, and then it takes really long, and then you know, you get like, you know, like 15 minutes to talk about it, and it was just a really long journey. I actually started it in Hawaii. I was there for like a year, and I wrote that there, and it just, you know, it's good to see it finally done. Because
what is your book about?
It's
it's called Night of the Witch.
It's about this young man, and he's kind of just working this dead-end job, and then one day he finds this black suitcase, and he thinks it's like full of money, and he takes it home, and when he opens it, there's just a bunch of pictures of dead babies in it. And from there, he just takes off into this world of the occult where his friends get killed and he has to, you know, fight back. So
it's definitely a horror fiction right there.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to write about that?
Well, you know, somebody told me that happened to them, and so I wrote about it. So.
Okay. Maybe not so quite fiction then.
No, you know, it's just like the truth is stranger than fiction, you know.
And tell me about the Las Vegas Book Festival coming up.
It's on the 17th of October. It's at the historic 5th Street School, and there's going to be like at least 100 authors there, so it should be fun.
It's a great deal to be a part of that.
Yeah, it's really fun, yeah.
And also the local bookstore here helped you develop your book.
That's right, yeah. I printed this at the Writer's Block on Fremont Street. I don't know the exact address, but...
I do like that place, the Writer's Block on Fremont
right.
Street.
Yeah.
And you also do art.
Yes, yeah.
So what kind of art do you do?
My artwork is kind of like, it's kind of like abstract and silk screens kind of mixed together. And it's like, I didn't go to art school, so it's like, it has this like raw look to it. And I like to like collaborate with other people, like on the street, like I'll just cover their work with mine, and I think it looks better that way.
Yeah, I actually ran into you at a local art gallery.
That's right, yeah, that's where we met.
And what inspires you, or what would you tell other people to keep on going with art or writing?
Well, you know, it's boredom. You really got to fight boredom. It's a killer. Yeah, so. Because after we're done, I'm going to be bored after that, so.
Well, there's other things you could probably move on to.
Yeah.
Well, and it's such a, you know, a competitive field, dealing with art and also writing. So how do you deal with that?
You know, to tell the truth, I really think my stuff looks like better than the stuff I see out there. So that's what keeps me going. I really think it stands out.
So it takes a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's all about confidence, yeah.
And what would you say about the Las Vegas art community?
I think it's great. There's a lot of people that do some really good work down there.
And anything else? Can we look out for your book anywhere else?
You know, maybe at the Writer's Block. I'll probably have to ask those guys, though.
Okay. And for someone who's never read horror fiction, what would you tell them about it to spark their interest?
Well, like what I just told you about that guy finding that suitcase, I think that's the hook right there.
Yeah, that is kind of different.
That's really what the story is about. That's what kicks the story off.
All right, well, thank you for coming. And what would you tell others? Don't go anywhere. We have more art and entertainment coming your way.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. I couldn't believe it. I just saved the life of somebody from my hometown.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The Action Team.
Action Team! Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
I don't think anyone captured my first steps on camera. I was the 5th kid, and by that time, first steps weren't a big deal. I was 16 and driving home with my brother Ben. A distracted driver hit us. Ben died on impact. I had 47 days in a hospital bed for reality to settle in. With a major spinal cord injury, doctors said I would never walk again. But deep down, I knew I would. I prayed that every day. Family, friends, strangers, all started to pray for me to be able to walk again. The progress has been slow, and the victories hard-won, but I feel the prayers.
Whether you need support in a tragedy or just to make it through a bad day, prayer can make a difference. America, let's come together by believing with each other.
For someone to come alongside you and say, I'm going to believe with you, it means a lot.
Here with us is Clinton Brandhagen, photographer and actor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and you're actually a former UNLV student.
I was a student here from 1997 to 1998. Yeah.
And what led you back to UNLV?
Well, I was a theater major when I was here, and Michael Lugering did a lot of Shakespeare work with us when I was here, and I credit him for launching my professional career in that he taught us about how to get under the text and know what we're saying when we're saying it all the time instead of just sort of generalizing it. So I got a job and I went off and did the thing, and this past May I was working in Milwaukee doing a play called Peter and the Starcatcher, and he called me up and said, "What are you doing in August, September, October?" I said, "Nothing." "Why?" He's like, "Well, do you want to come here and do a play?" And I thought, sure, why not? Why not come back and sort of share the experiences that I've had over the past 20 years working in the real world, doing a lot of Shakespeare and a lot of other things. And I'm really happy that I did, because we just did Much Ado About Nothing, and the show was very good, and it was very clear. People could understand what was being said, even though it was written 500 years ago.
How was your experience performing in that play?
It's really exciting. I'm sort of the outsider, and most of the students are grad students or undergrad students, and watching them really sort of invest and get excited about doing Shakespeare and figuring out that, right, it isn't just old language, and there's human emotion in there that hasn't changed in 500 years. That's probably my favorite part of this experience, yeah.
Well,
and the
I'm
audiences are good, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to hear that you're still sticking with Shakespeare. A lot of people don't really understand it that easily, so you help people understand the text.
Yeah, it's you know, if you can go word for word and phrase by phrase and get underneath, you know, even when it's in prose, but especially in the poetry, and figure out the rhythms, he does a lot of the work for you. And so helping them get to that level, you know, or reminding them that, you know, it's not as intimidating. We still use 95% of Shakespeare's words in contemporary English, so.
And acting led you to photography?
It did. I toured with the Shakespeare Company for about 3 years, and I drove all over the country. You know, I was based just outside of DC, and we drove to Alaska, and well, you know, we played like 38 states or something. And I finished, and I was like, man, I don't have anything to show for this life on the road and this experience. So in about 2001, I had my first equity contract, which is the Actors Union. And I thought, well, I'm getting a decent pay finally. I'm going to invest in something that I can document this next journey. And I got a tour out of the Kennedy Center and a bunch of books, a bunch of cameras, or no, one camera. And so I'd study while we were driving. And then when we get to a new city, I'd go and give myself little projects. And then that grew into about, you know, it was a learning curve. You know, you have to figure out when you're in the city long enough that you can drop off your film and get it back and see what you're doing. And then in about 2005, I went digital, and that sort of just launched everything. You can instantly see, okay, I'm doing that wrong. Let me figure it out. And
what kind of photography do you do?
well, then I got into headshots, and that sort of has been. I had a lot of colleagues that I was working with that were really, really good actors, but you know, they had these photos that, you know, actors aren't rich people, especially stage actors. So they had photos, but they weren't getting them work. And so I started focusing my stuff on shooting people and faces, and had developed this this headshot business, which you know, did very well. I ended up in DC for about 12 years and shot a lot of the really, really successful actors there, and now I'm in New York, and it's starting to take off there.
And you've been at it for a while now, so what inspires you to keep acting and doing photography?
Well, the acting thing is, oftentimes people are like, so you do both, and you've had some success in both. What do you want to pick? And I can't pick either one, because you know, one is what I've been doing since I was about 9 years old, which is the acting. And the photography, you know, the headshots I just love. I love helping actors. I love, you know, being able to say, let's find you rather than just take a pretty picture. Let's get some personality in there. Let's get some of the fire that you have, because everyone's so different, you know. And I don't like all my shots to look the same. Everybody's got to have their shot. So that keeps me going, because it's always a challenge, and it's always a little bit of a test. And like, how do we get to the actor? And that's, I guess they both fuel each other, because the more actors you meet, and they're interesting people, the more, you know, you want to keep taking pictures of them.
And where can we see more of your work?
You can go to, if you Google Clinton B Photography, all one word, the photos are all over the place. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. Facebook and Instagram is really where I post most of this stuff.
All right, well, we'll definitely look out for your work. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Speaking of taking photos, here's a place you'll want to take lots of them at. Take a look. Located in the Fremont East District of downtown, you can find a canteen-style restaurant and coffee bar. And it's named Publicus. You can sit at a wooden table with a tree coming out of it and enjoy the London fog, tea that looks like coffee, or the espresso old-fashioned, coffee that looks like an alcoholic beverage. Discover a whole new world of coffee in style. Thanks for stepping out with me. I'm Nakaya Berry. What's trending, Deshola?
Well, Nakaya, you know that Halloween is this weekend, and that's all I've been seeing online is Halloween and especially the costumes.
Yeah, it seems a little bit on the less spookier side this year, and instead I'm hearing about costumes like Caitlyn Jenner and emoji symbols.
And I've been seeing like a lot of like the minions from Despicable Me, you know, so that should be really popular because the movie's really popular. What are you dressing up as?
I'm trying to go for the whole couples costume, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay. I am going to be Prince Akeem from Coming to America.
Weren't you that last year?
Yeah, and the year before, and the year before. I like recycle costumes all the time, you know?
I don't know why, but I mean, we've all tried that a few times.
Yes, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, if you have any costume ideas for us this year, leave us a comment on Facebook or Twitter.
Or you can snap a pic of your costume and hashtag FRCLV on Instagram.
I can't wait to see them.
Neither can I. Well, that's all we have for you today on Front Row Center,
where art and entertainment collide.
I'm Deshola Balogan.
And I'm Nakaya Berry. See you next week, Las Vegas.